Edition of the RF Video Shoot interview series. Today we're joined by none other than Gorgeous George. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Basically, my first question would be, before you got into the business of professional wrestling, what were you doing? And I guess go back to your childhood. Were you a wrestling fan?
I used to watch wrestling, rock and roll wrestling cartoons when I was little.
Right, with Hogan, Mr.
Yeah, everybody. I always liked it. I liked it back in the day when they had the real wrestling with just the people arguing and before the storylines really came.
Where'd you grow up at?
Rockford, Illinois.
Okay, so did you get to go to any shows live that came through WWF at all?
They came all the time, but I never went. My parents weren't really big into that.
Right.
It was kind of crazy because me and Randy grew up probably 45 minutes from each other.
Randy
Savage.
Okay. Now, after high school, did you go to college or anything?
No.
Okay. What did you do for a job and stuff like that?
I had a baby really young.
Okay.
And I was a stripper.
Cool.
And I liked it, so. Still do it every once in a while now.
So did you go to shows and then at all, like before you got into the business? Like how did you meet Randy?
I met Randy at working at the Dollhouse in Tampa.
Right.
And we became really good friends. And one thing led to another. We started just being friends, hanging out, and the next thing you knew, we fell in love.
Cool. Now, when you started hanging out with Randy, what was he like before you actually got into the business? When you first met him, what was Randy like?
I've never thought of him as Randy Savage because I kind of met him as Randy Pop, both different, you know.
Right.
And he's I always like older men because they're more wiser, and I don't know, he showed me a lot about life. He taught me a lot. He
Right.
really did. He opened my eyes to things that I didn't know that existed, like having dreams and becoming something more than what I was.
Now, when you first came around the business, were a lot of the other boys hitting on you and stuff like that, or did Randy pretty much make it a point, hey, she's with me?
I had one look walking through wrestling, and that was. I don't even think I ever made eye contact with more than one person there.
Right.
I don't even know. I don't even remember. It's kind of fun now because I'm a very social person.
Right.
It's fun now to be able to go to wrestling shows or things like we are today, and to be able to walk up to people and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Because I think they thought I was a jerk.
Right.
Because I never said hello, and I've always been shy, and it's not that I am at all. It's just I'm nervous. I'm a very nervous person.
Right.
And especially by walking on eggshells, because he was jealous. I didn't know. I still don't know how to conduct myself around the other wrestlers.
Right. So none of the other boys actually hit on you at all either at first?
No.
No, because
They're very respectful to Randy.
Right.
No, not at all.
I guess when was the first time that Randy said, "Hey, do you want to make a shot at becoming a valet or something like that?" How did that come about?
That came about because I was dancing still, and I didn't want to be on television. And he told me that he needed a valet because him and Elizabeth they were divorced, but they were doing, trying to work with the Wolfpack and stuff like that, and he needed somebody to regenerate his gimmick. And we went to LA and we met Tori Wilson. And I was like, there's no way that my boyfriend is traveling on a road with that pretty of a girl without me. Oh no. So he's like, well then you know what, you have to do it.
Huh.
I was like, I'm not going on TV. And he's like, if you just try it, you might like it. And I never, to me, I always thought I was never good at anything, And then I tried it one time. And since I was a dancer, I'm used to being around people, and I like fans and having fun and
Right.
going crazy. Dressing wild is what I do. And it was kind of like my little niche, that he finally found, and I liked it.
Right. What advice did Randy give you when you first started the business?
Just when you go to work, you go to work. You don't hang out the bars after the shows. You stay to yourself. The less you get involved with other women or men, friend-wise, the less problems you have to deal with later.
Right. Now, as far as mentally preparing you, as far as getting into the business and ring psychology and stuff like that, what advice did he give you?
Just look at me. Just watch me at all times, and it's Murphy's Law sometimes, and if things happen, they happen,
Did Randy try to teach you everything, or did Randy actually, hey, talk to her, she's been in the business for a long time, or even with Elizabeth when she was still there,
I think Randy would more, with Randy's a man's man. I think that he wants the women to be the garnish, not he doesn't want them to get hurt, and he doesn't want them to, I don't know how to explain it, he wants them to be the ornament.
Right.
and help. And you know, he actually puts you over. He puts, you know, he put me over. You know.
Did any other women come up to you and give you advice when you first got to WCW at all? Or?
No one talked to me.
Okay.
I was like I said,
Ha!
there wasn't talking.
Did you think there was jealousy that, you know, maybe you didn't pay your dues and you just came off, you know, from...
You know, yeah, I'm sure, but it would be with anything, with any woman with their husband. If you were a lawyer and you needed a secretary, I'd be your secretary.
Right.
It wasn't nothing about jumping into business to be famous for me, because I really didn't care. I don't really care to be famous. It doesn't really bother me. I mean, it's fun to meet people and go places and stuff, but as of like being famous, I could care less.
Right. What was your first reaction to WCW, like the atmosphere when you first got there?
It was cool because we were baby faces.
Right.
And then all of a sudden one day we turned heel, and I got hit in the face with the 9-volt battery. I thought I was shot in my face because we got in a fight with Rey Mysterio.
Right.
And I hit him and stuff, so someone really got me. But it came from like a third story balcony, hit me in my face, and there's an actual picture of me going like that because I thought I was shot.
Huh.
I swear the pain was...
I don't remember. Was it TV or was it just a house show?
No, it could have been a house show, and we were always afraid of getting hurt on house shows, so we wouldn't mess with the TV tape.
What was your first experience like when you first came out to the ring? Do you remember who you worked, or
what?
The first time you came out to the ring with Randy? Do you remember what it was for?
They kind of threw me right in the heat, right as soon as... I think it was kind of like Eric Bischoff wanted to see, okay, Randy, you know, you want your girlfriend here? Let's throw her in the heat.
Right.
And the first day that I got there, I had to already start arguing with Charles Robinson, and it just went... You know, I had a very short career with the wrestling,
right.
But I had a great run, and I had a great time with Randy.
When you say arguing, as far as a shoot argument, or just something in the ring argument?
Argument with the show.
Oh, okay.
And for me, I'm very quiet, and I'd never talked on the mic before or yelling at somebody. And the funny part of the show was I was just supposed to yell at him, and that was it. And my adrenaline was going. I was whacking him. I don't know if you guys ever seen that, but I was like all over Charles Robinson, and when we got done, I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit you.
What were the politics like backstage? Because I know there was a lot of politics going on in WCW at the time.
In any business, there's politics, you know. There's everything in entertainment, anything in political things is political.
All right.
It's what you're doing, who you're with. You know, I wouldn't have been at wrestling if it wasn't for Randy, you know. I mean, he brought me to the circus. You know, he did. And I respect him for that.
Was there anyone in the business that seemed to be at odds with Randy? Because I know a lot of the guys always, you know, said Randy wasn't a good guy and blah, blah, blah.
I don't think that Randy's not a good guy. I think that Randy's old school, and he's dealt with his father being wrestling, and they lived down the road half of their life, and he had a certain way of living and things that were supposed to be done the way they were, and if you didn't do it the way he wants it, I'm not having it.
Right.
You know?
Now, Randy had a reputation for being overly possessive with his ex-wife, Elizabeth. Do you think that it was unfounded based on how he treated you?
I just think what happens is Randy's very, how do you explain it? He doesn't trust nobody. And when he does fall in love with somebody, you know, because Elizabeth was a great lady, he just loves her so much, and he loved me so much that when he doesn't want anyone to get around his thing that he gives you his all, everything that he tells you, his secrets, his love, and he doesn't want everybody else to know this.
Right.
And if anybody starts getting close to the inner circle, he's pushing them out.
Right.
You know, it's just for his own protection, for his one friend that he has.
Now, I know I did a couple shoot interviews with a couple guys that were in WWE, or at WWF at the time, back in the 80s, around the heyday, and they said Randy would actually lock her in like a closet or a room or something like that.
I think they made it out a little bit more than it actually was. He used to lock me in rooms too, so...
Really?
But it was so no one could come in there and, you know, because, you know, drop things in my drinks or rape me and be in a room, and then he can't find me. It was all about a protection thing, and you know what? Ever since I haven't been with Randy, now that I'm doing the wrestling and the independent myself, I'm babied, you know, and I did get thrown into the mix early, and I think things should be certain ways because this is what I'm used to.
Right.
And, you know, and I don't know, I'm not a prima donna at all.
Right.
I'm like the most not person like that. But when things I think should be taken care of, that's on management, you know. That's what's making us get to where we got to get for you people to take care of us so we can take care of your show. And when those things aren't done, then you're the one getting yelled at.
Right.
You know, kind of.
Now, you didn't travel at all before, basically, the wrestling business. You were basically, you know, down in Florida, right?
No, I'm from like the Chicago area, Rockford.
Right.
I traveled a lot as being a teenager, running around the earth, going crazy.
Right. I mean, as far as the road
Dancing
schedule?
everywhere. I danced all over.
Right.
I've been dancing for 12 years.
Oh, wow.
Long time.
Now, as far as like the road schedule with wrestling, I mean, how did you adjust to that? Because you're in a different city every Monday when they were doing nitros and stuff like that.
Yeah, I have my son will be 12 in a couple days, and the schedule was really hectic, like 300 days a year.
Right.
And I had to actually have my sister move down, she's 23. She moved down to take care of my son while we were on the road.
Right.
And it was good. It was good because that way, because she's just like me, and I was 100% comfortable with leaving my son with my sister, so
Right.
everything was good.
How did the other women treat you in the locker room? I don't know who was there at the time besides Tori.
There was Tori, there was Asia.
Medusa, was she there at the time?
Medusa. Everybody treated me good. I love Molly Holly. She's my favorite.
Right.
And, what do you call it? Yeah, all the girls are really nice. Everybody had their own gig there. I'm sure everybody wanted time, space, certain slots, and that's just the way it is in wrestling, and, you know, and whatever.
Now, before you started taking bumps and stuff, did anybody actually take you in the ring and show you, you know, what to do?
Randy did not want anyone to teach me one thing.
Right.
To show me. We had hours. We even had a ring down the street from our house. He didn't want me to get hurt. He wanted to put me on a pedestal and walk around and save him. And,
right.
You know, that's what, to me, that was his old school thing. He doesn't like women. I don't think he really digs I don't know what his views are now, but I know when I was with him, he didn't dig the chicks wrestling.
Somebody told me like Molly Holly taught you how to bump and stuff like that. I don't know how true it was.
We worked out in Florida in about 120 degree steel storage bin with a ring in it.
Huh.
Oh God.
It sucked.
Did you ever see the video where I was doing the whole thing where they were just showing clips with like me and Medusa?
Yes.
Excuse me.
Uh-oh. You want some water?
So anyways, it was really hot, and every time we ever tried, we were so busy. He was doing Thunder, Nitro, and he was also on the booking committee. So between that schedule and me having time to bump, it just wasn't in the cards. It was just like, you know.
Right.
He wanted me to save him. Yeah, me to distract, me to do my girl thing.
Right. What were your first thoughts on Hulk Hogan when you met Tori?
Huge. Huge. Beautiful guy, beautiful man, great father. And before I met my husband, I had never seen the greatest father in my whole lifetime. I met him.
Right.
I couldn't believe it. He's like 100% the best dad. He's a great guy.
How did Randy get along with him? Because I know that in the past they had a lot of tension between each other, and I know it's still today there's tension between the two, just because they're both superstars, and you know.
It's competition.
That's just, right, exactly.
It's competition. Everybody wants to be the king of the ring, and he, you know, Hogan is always going to be Hogan.
Right.
And Randy's always going to be Randy. And, you know, the crazy thing is we used to hang out with them every day.
Right.
And wrestling would come around on Monday, and they want to kill each other.
Right.
What is happening here? You know, like, I don't know. I just think it's a love-hate relationship.
Right.
They love each other, but they get sick of each other. I think Hogan, Randy and Hogan think that, I'm sure you saw the video with Hogan where he thinks that Randy thinks it's his fault with the Elizabeth thing.
Right.
Well, I don't think that's the case. I think Randy he doesn't have that many friends, and he really loves Hogan in his heart.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know what it is. I haven't lived it, so I have no idea what they're doing.
What are your first thoughts when you met Ric Flair? What were your thoughts on Ric?
Woo!
Now he had to hit on you.
Besides, you ripped my shirt off on camera. Anyway.
Right.
No, I'm impressed because those are the people that I watched growing up. And I think wrestling is missing today more of the show. The Ric Flairs. the people dressing up. That's why when I did my costumes and I did Randy's costumes and we worked together.
Right.
If you noticed when he came back, I wanted to make us the old school wrestling tool. When kids buy your doll, they get a cool coat inside there or a cool,
right.
Something extra special for the kids.
Did you actually do some of the clothes designing?
I designed all the clothes besides another friend of his, Michael Braun.
Right.
And then so either outfits would match, and so that's what we did. I think we had a winning team. We did good together.
Eric Bischoff, what were your first thoughts on him?
I don't think I could ever impress Eric.
Uh-huh.
I always felt like I wasn't good enough for Eric. I don't think he really made me happy one day after he never really talked to me very much, and then after the Charles Robinson match,
right,
he came up to me and he was like, ah! And I was like, wow, 'cause it really made me feel good because I don't know what I can say in here.
Oh, you totally curse on everything.
I fucked up a lot.
Right.
every 5 minutes I'm fucking up, and it's just like because everything's so tense and I get nervous and then you weren't here, and then the whole spot got fucked up and then when I got in the back sorry.
Right.
I was new to the whole thing. I got thrown in the fire the first day I walked out. I had no training, I just wanted to be with Randy on the road.
Right.
And that was all.
Now, do you agree with the theory that the inmates ran the asylum, so to speak, where the boys basically were in control of Eric Bischoff? You hear a lot of stories that, Nash and Hall had his ear, and then Hogan had his ear, and,
You can't let anybody have your ear unless you want them to have your ear. I mean, if you're going to run a business and you're going to do your thing, then I don't think anybody can budge your ear. I'm sure that there's influence.
Right.
But when you're as big as Eric Bischoff and you're running the show, then I guess... whatever came out was on him then. And if it was the other guy's opinion and it came out wrong, then you took the opinion. So
True. What are your thoughts on Kevin Nash?
Love him. I love Kevin Nash.
Scott Hall too.
Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, all of them. I love doing autograph sessions with my friend Rob and Kevin.
Right.
We have good times. It's fun to be. I'm just like one of the boys. I like hanging out with those guys.
Right. You talked briefly about your match with referee Charles Robinson. It was, I think, Slamboree 99, right? What are your memories of that match?
It was the best. I would really love Charles, and I think that for him to be able to be his guy,
right,
and for his moment in the sun, the way it was, I mean, I had to stop myself from almost crying sometimes during the match because, when he was doing the dance and stuff, because it made me feel good. And when we were training for the match in that hot box I told you about,
right,
we were dying, and he was so excited. I mean, to wear the coat, to do the woo,
right,
the thing, he really loved it. It was good for him.
Was it a good match? I mean, as far
I
as
had a
you
great
were
match. I would love to see if I had time to be able to wrestle and someone actually teach me. I can pick stuff up. I just never have the time because no one ever shows me.
Right. Was it Molly Holly who actually trained you for that match?
I think, I've only been trained, seriously, 10 times.
Wow.
That's it. All the other stuff is just winging it.
Right. Well, you're not taking a lot of bumps and stuff, so you don't,
Yeah.
And you're
I just want to be the eye candy in the
right.
In the window.
Thoughts on Medusa? What was she like? Huh.
Wait.
Was it a bad question?
No, Medusa? No, I love Medusa. She is a very good teacher with wrestling,
right.
And I think that I was really nervous with Medusa. I think she intimidated me because she's stronger than me, she's bigger than me, I don't want to kick them in the face.
Right.
Hey, when someone else is taking a kick, I'm out of here.
So she was pretty cool with you?
No, yeah, definitely.
Okay. I know that she's been in the past tough with certain girls and stuff like that, but I guess that's just to teach them respect of business.
Yeah, it is. But I've also been trained by people that show me the same thing.
Right.
And you can get cranked or you don't.
Right.
And
right.
It still teaches you the same move. So you never know. I don't know. Maybe that's just her. I think she just doesn't know how much adrenaline she has, because she's ready to kick some ass.
Right. How about Asia? Your thoughts on Asia? What was it like working with her?
She's a sweetheart. Very, very nice, soft-spoken girl. I thought it was a good deal when she was the nurse.
Right.
I liked her as the nurse. I didn't work with her very much because by the time she started working, WCW was getting ready to end, and that's what happened.
Also, Randy had a brief feud with Kevin Nash in WCW, and you were with him for that. What are your memories of those matches with Kevin?
Oh, with Kevin?
Right.
You know what? He's fun to work with. He's a great guy, and I don't know, I just love Kevin. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. And whenever we had to work with Kevin, I'm like, yay. I don't know. I know we're supposed to, hate everybody, but...
Right. Everyone knows.
Well, there is a lot of hatred back there. Don't get it fucked up.
Right, exactly. Memories of the angle, I guess, where Kevin poured sewage in your car.
We gotta go there.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you see that?
Yeah, it was good. But
I got a question for everybody that brought that sewer truck there. Did you guys clean the shit out of that thing?
Was it that bad?
I don't know if it was a real truck or not, or if it was brand new, but dude, I don't know how clean you could get that thing to actually put more fake sewage in it to get us girls.
Right.
But it was heavy. The pressure of that ripped my neck off. And we were just like it was fun though. And we pre-taped that first.
Right.
So I had to buy two of the same dresses. The one that's actually downstairs
is what you were.
That we're selling right now. But
not adorning, but
it was in that scene, and we had to buy two of the same dresses. So one was dry for later, because we had to pre-tape that. It was either in the beginning of the show or the end of the show. I don't know.
I do remember that. Also, Randy worked with Dennis Rodman at Road Wild. What was Dennis like?
Dennis is... Oh my God. Dennis is really sweet, and he gets nervous because even though he loves wrestling, I could tell that basketball is his thing.
Right.
And for him to be able to work with us with the thing, it was hard for us to work because he gets excited, and I guess it was hard for me because we did like this Sturgis.
Right.
I had to give this guy a ball shot, and I swear to God, no kidding, his balls are up to here, and my head is only right.
Right.
Like, how am I supposed to get that? I mean, hello.
Right.
You gotta bend down a little bit for this one. I missed the ball shot completely.
Right.
Because I was too short.
Did he sell it?
Yep.
Ah.
I might have got a ball there or something. I don't
know. Now, Randy around this time was having some issues with WCW management. What were those issues?
Randy went his way to the highway. He doesn't have to do it for the money. He does it because he wants to do it. He saved his money, and he, if he wants to wrestle again, he will. If he doesn't, if the deal's not going his way, he's not having it.
Right. Did you think that Randy was justified with his claims at the time? What he was arguing for?
It all depends on what you think you're worth, I guess.
Right.
I mean, if he's an older man, he is one of the top stars. You do need star power to run something. Just like WCW started and they had the star power.
Right.
You needed to pay those guys to get it over. You could have a wrestling federation with 1 million guys that nobody knows and it ain't going to get over.
Exactly. Now, also, Randy worked with Vince Russo. What changes happened in WCW when Russo came aboard, besides him killing the company?
I don't remember how this went, but I honestly think that Vince did not come until we were done.
Okay. Was it after?
I don't think he was there long. I don't remember even hardly seeing him.
Now, you and Randy actually left the company at that point, right before he came in then? What made you guys leave? Just because Randy wasn't getting his way?
No. Well, we were going through contract time again, and we were waiting contracts and doing our thing.
They actually gave you a contract? They didn't give you like a per night basis for you?
What?
You had a contract too?
Yes.
Okay.
Our contract was together, so on delusion of us breaking up, then I got fired.
Right.
So.
Oh, after Randy and you broke up? That's when they fired you?
Well, they didn't want him either because I think he just was asking for too much money.
Right.
To be honest, I don't know.
What was the reason they fired you? Did they tell you?
They didn't fire me. They fired us together.
Okay. So you didn't want to stay, obviously.
No, I did want to stay.
Even if Randy wasn't there?
Me and him were getting along too well at the time.
Okay. Any regrets about your WCW stay?
No.
Everything was
perfect?
Great
run. I want to do it again. I just had a baby. And so I'm taking time off, and you can't get this time back that she's growing. So
right.
And I'm married now and stuff, and so everything's going good.
Cool. Now in Chicago, you debuted for ECW.
Mm-hmm.
You did an angle with Francine.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah. What was your memories of that?
She whacked the shit out of me with that pole. All I know is that I was like, I got in the back room and I was like, "What are you trying to do? Kill me!" She got me good.
I remember.
Oh man, from the back of my, like, right at the end of my neck, going all the way, it cracked me around the top of the head. It was a bend. And I was like, First time I'd ever been cracked at the pole.
Who contacted you from ECW? How'd you get in there?
Molly Holly.
Molly Holly? Okay.
Mhm.
'Cause she was friends with, I think, nWo at the time.
Okay.
I think so. What are your memories of ECW? Because you only were there for a couple shows.
Shocker.
Right.
I was not used to show your tits. The whole hardcore. I wasn't used to that blood and the stuff.
Right.
So it really overwhelmed me. I guess like the first, and then the girls are so involved with getting DDT'd. And,
Right.
you know, to me, you know, like a girl. I mean, it's just my opinion. A girl shouldn't get DDT'd because our necks are really thin.
Right.
I don't know if it's such a good idea because I don't want to get DDT'd by anybody.
Right.
I don't care how good you are. Just one little slip, your leg could be slippery, and then bam, you know, a broken neck.
You also did the pay-per-view, I think, with Tommy Dreamer. You were his special secret against Francine, and I think it was Jazz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your memories of that?
And Jazz is cool. I worked with her someplace else, and I don't remember. But yeah, they're all great people. Everybody I've wrestled with has been awesome.
Now, how would you compare the locker rooms between WCW and ECW?
ECW is a party.
Exactly.
WCW was a little organized, not really. I went to WWF and I just could not believe WWE. I couldn't believe what I saw.
Right.
They got their shit in one sack.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, but because WCW, I'm not cutting anybody down, but you know, you got people running around, screwing around, playing games, and I went there for just one day with Molly Holly, and everybody was just like, wow. Nobody talked. Everybody was like, they were very professional.
Right.
Very, very professional. I was like overwhelmed. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, oh, this is something else. They have a makeup artist too.
Yeah. Did anybody approach you when you went over there?
I tried to do. See, I'm just now learning by doing the independents.
Right.
I paid my dues in life more than one way or another.
Right.
Whether it was dancing all these years or just because I haven't been taking bumps doesn't mean I haven't paid my dues on the road. And I went there and I forgot what I was talking about.
We were talking about when you went to WWE locker room.
Oh. I just felt kind of weird. I guess I just wasn't. I didn't know a lot of the stars.
Right.
I got to meet China, and I love China.
Yeah.
China was my hero. and now I'm into Victoria because I like the big chicks.
Right. Right.
I think they're awesome.
Did anybody from Office approach you at all when you were there?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's what I was talking about. They wanted me to do a shoot. You know, like yelling at China on camera.
Right.
And I just wasn't ready for it to walk into there and not know one person and start screaming at camera about somebody that's like one of my idols. Like,
right.
Hey, you!
Oh, actually, they offered you a spot and you turned it down?
I wasn't ready yet.
Right.
I wasn't ready for I want to be in the tip-top shape. That's the king of the place, you
right.
know. When I go there, I want to be able to talk on the mic and have skills, and if they make me wrestle, know what I'm doing.
Right, right. Who approached you about doing something? Was it Pritchard or somebody?
Pritchard.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you asked, was he cool when you told him that you didn't
Yeah,
want
I just wasn't. And I just went there to go see Nora. I didn't know this was gonna happen.
Right.
Well, Molly Holly. I didn't mean to say that. But you know, I didn't.
Right.
I kind of was like on the spot.
Right.
And I was too nervous.
Looking back, do you regret that decision?
Yes.
Yeah.
Messing up that interview. Yeah.
No, actually, you could have done the spot with China and then maybe had a job or.
Yeah, it was just a wrong time of day, and I wasn't ready because I didn't know. And also with the breakup between me and Randy, I didn't know what to expect at this place, and I don't know who his friends are. And me and him, you know, we are not on talking terms.
Right.
And I don't know what to do.
What led to your breakup? If it's too personal, I can understand.
It's not too personal, because if it wasn't too personal, then he wouldn't have done it.
Right.
I don't care. He wanted to have a three-way in living with my sister.
So he liked your sister as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He wanted us all three to live in a house together, and that was not, you know, it's like, okay, you want Lanny to live with us? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Not for nothing, but I really did care about him and love him, and for someone to say that to me it was kind of devastating.
What happened with your sister? He didn't run off with her, did he?
No, my sister was 17 years old at the time.
There you go. All right. Well, maybe we need to edit that part out. But anyway, now you never went back to ECW. What happened with you in ECW?
I don't know. I don't really, I'm not one of those kind of people that if you want to talk to me, then talk to me.
Right.
I'm not up everybody's ass. You know, if you think that you could use me in your show or whatever, then fine.
So Paul Heyman or nobody else called you from the office after the...
Paul Heyman went straight to WWF not very long after that.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. Now, it's a pretty infamous story that there was a backstage fight, I guess, at the Kid Rock concert with Road Warrior Hawk and Randy and yourself and I think Hawk's wife or whatever. What exactly happened that night? Because we did an interview with Hawk and he told us his version. I forgot exactly what it was because it was so long ago. But
all I know is that Randy wanted to use the bathroom, and we were with my sister and a girlfriend of mine and Randy, and we were walking to the bathroom, and we didn't even know they were there. And there was urinals, and then there was like a bathroom part and stuff. We walked in, and all of a sudden, I didn't even know him without the makeup on, you know?
right.
And then when I seen him and his wife started hollering at my... Well, first of all, they just went straight into a fight.
Who, Randy and Hawk?
Yeah, I don't even think they said anything. By the time I walked in the room, they were already fighting.
What was their heat to begin with? What did they have heat over?
I don't know. Long
Something
time
from the
stuff.
past?
Yeah,
Okay.
long time stuff. And I walked in and... Oh, God, what a mess. They had the urinals ripping off the walls, the doors. Oh, Lord.
So they're already hitting
It
each
looked
other.
like two monsters just fighting.
Right.
And there was about 15 people standing around security outfits, and nobody stopped it. Nobody stopped the fight. And then so there was pop cans that were full, and I started whipping them at Hawk's head to get them to stop.
What was it? Pop?
Pop cans.
Oh, soda cans.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was hitting him, and then his wife got in my sister's face and was pushing my sister, and then my sister's younger than me, so you ain't doing that.
Right.
So we got in a fight. So you got these huge men fighting, us fighting, and nobody's stopping it. It's like it was insane. You got 50 huge men standing around with security shirts on.
They wanted to see a real match, so.
They were scared to get into it. You shouldn't have seen it. It was insane.
Right.
But after I hurt Hawk's wife, you know, and I didn't mean to. It was heavy, and nobody was helping to stop, you know.
Right.
And after the whole thing was done, I actually went to XWF.
Right.
And we were in Orlando, and I didn't even notice it, but I was in the elevator going like 15 floors with Hawk. And now the last heat we had was with that. So I get to looking, and he's in the elevator with me, and I'm like, oh.
Did he know it was you?
Huh? Yeah, he knows it was me. And then it was getting heated. I had sweat rolling down me, and I looked at him and I said, I want to tell you I'm sorry. I did not mean to ever do that. But no one was stopping stuff, and I didn't know what to do. It was insane. I mean, there's so many people in there and stuff. And he says, you know what, George? He's like, that was really cool that you said that. And I said, I want you to tell your wife I'm sorry. And we went down to the hotel bar and got shit-faced
Cool.
together. And we made up, and I'm glad because of now what's happened.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, did you regret the incident after you heard about Hawk passing away? So, obviously...
What?
I was going to ask you if you regretted the incident.
Oh, I regretted it when it happened. Before, I don't like to fight people. I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover.
Right. Now, after you guys broke up, Randy tried to take the name Gorgeous George away from you.
Yes.
Why?
There's the maestro downstairs. It is Grandpa's name. He bought it from him for Lanny. We were trying to trademark a name for me really fast because this whole thing about me coming on TV just was within weeks. And he's like, so we tried all these names, and it's costing us lots of money. And then he said to me one day, we were at the swimming pool, and he goes, I don't know what you think about this, but I own a name, and we need one now. And we got it trademarked and everything. Excuse me? He goes, how about Gorgeous George? I said, I fucking love it. He goes, do you really? I said, yeah. Because it's George to me, I don't mean to cut down all the Georges, but George to me is not a very hot guy's name.
Right.
But I think it would be hot in a girl. And then I saw the tapes of Gorgeous George, the original, with the blonde hair and the foo-foo, and that's how I am anyway.
Right.
And I was like, I would love to be him. I would love to be the granddaughter and try to do good for what he was.
Right. What led to, I guess, Randy telling you can't use that name anymore?
He had me sign papers when we first started being together, and, you know, he knows the legal mumbo-jumbo, and I was pretty young.
Right.
I had no idea what was happening. And so after, I like my name being George. He named me, he should let me have it.
Right.
You know? And so when the breakup happened, I legally changed my name to George Frankenstein. And that's my name now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, where did that name come from?
My husband's last name is Frankenstein.
That's a great gimmick name, too.
Nobody forgets me. I could tell you I'm George Frankenstein and no one will forget it.
Was he Jewish? Obviously he was Stein. He's Jewish, right? Frankenstein, that's a Jewish name, right?
Well, he's in a band. He was in a band, the Misfits.
Okay.
And he's the Wolfgang von Frankenstein, so.
Okay. Any horror stories when you went on to the indie scene after, ECW, after that, you went on the indie scene. Any horror stories from that?
Actually, all my indie shows have been really great. I mean, I can't remember as of right now any horror stories, but I will tell you, sometimes getting stuck places and people not picking you up and not paying you and the jack off job they do to the independent scene. But as of like the indie people, they're humble. They haven't been jaded yet. They haven't got the star power that they can run around with, and they are so cool. And all the girls that I wrestle with are so nice.
Right.
They treat me so good. I mean, they're like, they're like good friends of mine now, and I like doing the indie stuff. It's fun. It's a good time.
Dan Cole, you worked for him up in Philly, I believe.
Yeah, those are my favorite chicks. The chicks he's got running for him, they are good girls. There's a lot of good talent there too.
Do you remember who you worked with up there? Because I don't.
Bobcat.
Right.
Worked with Bobcat. Oh God, I can't. What are the nurses?
I haven't watched this product in so long, so.
Yeah, I don't even. I never.
Did you actually wrestle up there, or did you just valet?
Francine and me wrestle. And,
Right.
I don't know what his tape even looks like. I don't watch it.
Right.
I just go and do the job.
Exactly.
And I don't watch videotapes. I don't care what. As long as I know what I do and I'm comfortable with it, then I'm all right.
Jasmine St. Clair, she started promotion 3PW.
Mm-hmm.
What are your memories working for her?
I love Jasmine. Love Jasmine. She's, she gave me a chance to work with her.
Right.
And we have fun, and it's cool. They're always nice to me. If I have a problem with something I don't want to do, they usually work around it, and
Right.
it's cool.
Now you missed the last 3PW show you were booked on. What happened?
My uncle's in the hospital with diabetes, and he lost his toes first, and then they were going to amputate his leg. So I only went away for 10 days and ended up staying for 20.
Wow.
And so that has nothing to do with missing Jasmine shows. It's
personal.
It's personal. We get a lot of personal things going on right now in our family that are a little more heavy.
Right.
Everybody's getting old.
Right.
All at once.
Now, do you expect to go back to 3PW or?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, if she's not mad at me because I missed the show, I didn't mean to. I had to be gone.
Now, you said you've been a mom. You have a 12-year-old son, right?
Yes.
I was going to ask you this is a question I thought. How has becoming a mom changed your outlook on life?
With wrestling, too, it's got a lot of things. I dress sexy and I wear sexy clothes and stuff like that, but I would never want to be on a program where, whether it was WWE or anything, and I'm not bad-mouthing what the other girls do because of whatever, but when my kid sees me on TV, he sits at home with his friends in the front, and he knows his mom's coming on Monday night. They got a bowl of popcorn, and they're watching. I can't go on there with latex titties.
Right.
I mean, not for nothing, but I am a stripper. I work in strip clubs, and that is an adult.
Do you still do that today?
I work for a circuit for Continental.
Right.
And they put Jen Jameson, all the top features go there.
Oh, cool.
But I would not do nothing. Wrestling should be wrestling for me.
Right. And
I want to be, like I said, the ornament and the helper and, of a manager, that's what I would like to be.
Right. Now, I believe it was like 2000, WWE was going to try to do something with Val Venus, and there was rumors that they were going to try to bring you in.
I heard that a couple times, but nobody called me.
Right. Would you ever go back there if they ever approached you? WWE?
Yeah.
All right.
Second.
What was the biggest misconception about yourself? What do you think the biggest misconception about?
I think everybody thinks that I can't work. I think that they think that I just got the easy ride and, and that I need to pay dues or whatever it may be. But, you just got to give me a chance.
Right.
Put me through a little bit of schooling. And, I mean, you've seen what I've done before. It can be done better this time.
Right.
I'm older, wiser. I know what to do. I've been around the business a little bit more. I'm ready.
Any good road stories? That you can talk about?
Oh boy, I don't even know. I can't. I can't. I'm sorry.
What about ribs? Have you seen any good ribs?
Ribs.
Jokes being played on people and stuff like that?
What on myself every time I leave the front door. No, actually, most of the boys that I'm with, they take care of me. They're like my big brothers.
Right.
I have a tendency to hang around with the old timers because they just feel like it was in my. I feel more comfortable with them, and a lot of times, like, I don't know the young guys,
right?
And I'm married and stuff, and I don't like to be in a situation where I feel that. I'm saying that the old timers are gonna try it too,
right?
But I'm also saying that I just feel more comfortable with being around people that I know when I was with Randy.
Right.
I feel like they kind of look out for me just a tad more.
Is there anybody that you never had a chance to work with that you would love to work with besides China?
Girl, boy.
Either or.
I wanted to work with Jeff Jarrett and be his ballet. I wanted to be Double G and he be Double J.
Ha! Now, will this be at NWTNA?
I just did TNA. Just when was it? Not too long ago.
I didn't even know that.
Huh?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I just did 2 shows for them.
How did that work out?
I don't know.
Was it recently, like within the last 30 days?
About 40.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm not sure.
Do you know if they're going to call you back?
I have no idea. I don't know what they're doing.
What did you do down there? Oh.
I just come out. They called me. See, I would like to be called George.
Right.
And they called. I have. There's little things I just like save or Tori's Tori. I just want to be my name.
Right.
I want to be George. They called me something else, and then a couple things happened. I don't know what's up. I really don't.
Now, Sable was just fired, I guess, from WWE. She was released 2 weeks ago.
Really? I didn't know that.
She did an interview somewhere, and she said like the wrestling business is very sexist and stuff like that. Do you agree with her or disagree? Or?
It's all what you raise your bar for. I mean, it's like it's the limbo game of life.
Right.
I'm a stripper, and my shows are clean. And if I want to do something that's nasty or raunchy, I gave that to you. Now, what's my next step?
Right.
Now, what more raunchy things do I have to raise my own bar?
Right.
If I stay at a certain level and I say this is what I'm going to do, look at Molly Holly. She's not raising the bar for herself.
Right.
And nobody's pushing it.
Right, right.
I mean, you're making yourself a sex symbol, then you're going to have to either take the heat or you're going to tell them no. And if they say no, then go get another profession.
Right.
And, that's another reason why, if I went to WWE, I would like to just be able to say that, I do have kids at home. And my kids, I have a little boy, and a little girl, and I can't make them embarrassed.
Right.
Or my father.
Right, right. Now, back in the day, you did a video. Do you regret it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have you sued the guy who put it out? Or?
I can't because I did it when I was really young, and
right.
I was actually homeless when I did that video, and I just worked for an internet company. I had no idea about that and stuff like that, and then no one even had computers back in the day when that happened, and the guy blew it up and made it into this,
right.
and then the Macho Man sued them, and now it's S&D video, and then they keep switching from video. I don't even know who owns the video.
Right.
And I was devastated. And not only was I devastated for those people to take advantage of somebody that was so young and turn it into something like that, as now that I'm an adult, I hate them people.
Right.
I mean, to be honest, I'm having the same thing Pamela Anderson problem has, and they own the same company, the same tape.
Huh.
It's someone's weakness.
Right.
Just, take from somebody's weakness to do something wrong.
Now, currently you're touring, I guess. I heard that you're going with Danzig,
Yes.
California, or something like that. What's your future plans?
Well, right now, my husband's band is going to be signed, and
right.
it's called Gorgeous Frankenstein.
Right.
That's half my name, half is his.
Cool.
And we're going to have really good stuff. I mean, hopefully some of it's going to be,
Are you a singer?
No.
Oh, okay. What do you do?
I dance.
Oh, okay.
I'm a stage dancer.
Oh, cool. So, wow. How long have you been doing that for as far as, like, the music stuff?
I've always been in and out of it, since I was, 17. A lot of bands from where I'm from, I've always been in the band scene.
Right.
And, so now, now we're going to do our dancing thing. We're leaving September 13th.
So you're actually on tour with Danzig, right?
We're getting ready to go with tour with Danzig, and we're going to be in the bus, and then when we're done with the Danzig tour, we're going on tour with our band.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
We get to bring our babies. We're excited.
Really? What's your future plans after the music? I mean,
We're going to roll this music thing, and I would love to be able to be who I am, who I really am, instead of, you know what I mean?
Right.
For wrestling, because that's who I'm going to be for the band, you know what I mean? Who I really am. Instead of somebody telling me, I would like to just be me, I think it would get over easier.
Any regrets at all?
No regrets.
Looking back? No.
Do it all again, same way.
Cool. Do you have any questions? Do you have anything you want to say to your fans that you never had a chance to say to?
Thank you guys for being nice to me and always supporting me and stuff like that. And they've been great. I mean, I've been down there, talking to people the past, 2 days now, and everybody's awesome.
I didn't know you were going to be here this weekend. How'd you get hooked up with this?
My friend Rob.
Okay, cool.
He does my promotions. Rob Hoffman.
Cool. Is there anything you want to plug? Any websites or anything?
Actually, we're gonna open up you could look on the Danzig website, the official website for Danzig.
Right.
And look under the Blackest of the Black Tour. And if you look under Doyle, which is my husband's name, it'll tell where the dates are. So you'll be able to see, because it's going to be the first time in 20 years that the Misfit did a reunion
Wow.
with Glenn and
I seen
Doyle.
Dave once in Philly. That was back in the day.
20 years ago?
No.
Oh, because it's the first time in 20 years.
Oh,
It's a
no,
big
no.
show.
I think I've seen Glenn by himself.
I haven't got to see him yet.
Really?
So it's going to be, he's one of my favorite singers. So for Glenn and my husband to be doing the same thing together, it's going to be really
That's
great.
pretty cool.
And so, yeah, we're going to tour. I'm taking the baby. We got our own bus, and we're going to
Awesome.
ride behind Danzig.
I guess that's it. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you want to say to anybody? Or?
What's up?
All right, cool.
Thank you, guys.
Cool.